Hello, entrepreneurs, dreamers, business owners, and happy people with high hopes. Welcome to Cashflows with your host, Cash Matthews.
All right. Hello there, friends. Welcome to Cashflows. My name is Cash Matthews, and today we want to welcome you to another riveting edition of Cashflows. Kenneth, how are you, bud?
I'm doing good. I'm riveting.
You're riveting?
Yes, like Rosie the Riveter, except a dude.
I don't even know what to do with that. It's early in the show to be this messed up. Don't make me laugh.
Deal.
That serves nobody well. Things are good in your world?
Yeah, things are great.
We're having a lot of fun with this, aren't we?
Lots of fun.
Yeah, we have had some really tremendous people on this show.
We sure have.
In the last 29, I don't know how many episodes.
28 of them so far. This is number 29.
Welcome to 29.
Thanks.
Yeah, in a little bit, we'll introduce Andrea Timmons here in a moment, but we're going to yak around like there's some bonus. Yakety yak. Don't talk back.
Ooh,
okay.
Good one.
All right. Well, let's see here. So let's talk about the Cashflows podcast a little bit, why we're doing this. Our philosophy on the wall behind us is fire, aim, ready. And really, we like to talk about things with people who are doing things out in the community. People who are making a difference, people who are climbing the ladder, people who are having a little bit of success. And we like to share those little factoids and stories with you, the listeners, that you might find the encouragement or the belief to take a step forward. And most people are ready, aim, and they never pull the trigger. And so it might be a goal that you have, or a song you want to write, or a poem, or a podcast.
A podcast.
Maybe it's a podcast. Yeah. If you want to do a podcast, man, do one. Just start yakking. And
well, you should record it, because that's how they.
Oh work. Yeah. That's the primary thing of a podcast.
Plug in a microphone, record it, and then
plug it in.
Okay.
But too many people, Andrea, they just don't ever get around to doing the thing, and so I don't want to go to the grave with the music still in me. Yeah. That's my thing. I just, put it out there. It's okay to fail from trying. It is not okay to fail from not trying. It is okay to fail giving it a shot. It is not okay to fail just sitting on your hands. And I have a philosophy. I want to leave a footprint instead of a butt print. And if that's you, man, welcome to Cashflows. We're glad to have you here. Let me formally introduce you to my friend Kenneth B.O.N.G. Kenneth.
Hey.
Tell us what's going on in your world.
Well, I'm producing a podcast with my friend Cash.
Well, I hear that guy's a goober.
Yeah, well, on occasion. But
yeah, well, I think that's part of the attraction.
On just the rare occasion in between when he's sleeping.
Yeah, but only on days that end in Y.
That's right.
All right. Well, I had my Tandy TR99 computer out the other night, and I'd received a disc in the mail from AOL.
Right.
Now, I know they're not as popular today, but I got my AOL disc in the mail and kind of looked it over. I'm like, hey, I'm using this.
Hey, free minutes.
That's just like money.
Oh, my God.
And I got the Tandy out. Got the, the joystick controller with the one red button on it.
One button, yeah.
Yeah, my keyboard.
Beige
keyboard, the monitor.
Everything beige.
And, well, the lettering was like...
it was kind
of a greenish, orangish green.
The original color monochrome.
The original, I don't know what the name is for that, but I had it out.
Yeah.
It was monochrome.
Monochromatic.
Monochromatic.
Like a zebra, except a computer.
Yeah, well, so anyway, I log on. I get into an AOL chat room. I logged on. I had an extra 17 minutes on that disk, and I wanted to use it effectively. And, well, apparently you have some fans out there in the world.
Wow.
I'm in a chat room, and
they're chatting.
They were chatting.
About me?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, a guy named Earl the Pearl.
Earl the Pearl.
Yeah, 46, I think he had a number on. Earl the Pearl, 46.
Because 45 was already taken.
45 was taken, yeah. And so Earl the Pearl was on there, and he's like, hey, man, you know Kenny B.O.N.G? And I'm like, Kenny? Yeah, maybe. Give me a description.
Yeah, I think that's my father.
Well, all right. Well, anyway. So, yeah, I know him. I kind of big dogged it. Yeah, I know him, Yeah? A little bit. And he's like, you ask him a question for me? And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, we got 3 or 4 people listening to us around the country. And he's like, well, hey, I want you to ask Kenneth a question for me. So I got the question, and I wrote it down here. Let me make sure I get it right. Yeah, here we go. Earl of Pearl. Hey, Kenneth.
Yes.
Uh, I know you don't read very fast, so I'm writing this very slowly. If you don't get this letter, please let me know and I'll send you another.
That's a little different from the usual questions.
It's on the paper.
Yeah.
And then he said, I wanted to ask you a question. I know you're busy. Okay. Hey, Kenneth, what's a guy like you doing in a nice place like this?
Oh, that question.
Yeah, that one.
So many people have this question. I'm glad they're so interested in my life over here behind the camera. Here's one of the things. You talk about not leaving butt prints, and this so I'm a professional cloud shape interpreter, and sometimes they look a little.
Oh.
Yeah. So I spotted one this morning. Looked like a taco.
Whoa.
I kid you not.
A taco cloud.
Yep. Taco cloud.
That
It's not
just
even Tuesday.
That just sounds delicious.
It does.
Did it have like cloud cheese on it also?
Yes. I'm sure it did.
Okay, well, you've started to cloud my judgment, so I'll rein it in. I apologize. The quality of your dad jokes is based on the cumulus total of dad jokes. I got to work on that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're a punny guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I spend 2/3 of my time being punny. Pu. We're just going to play the drum shot here for about 3 hours. All right. Hey, John Bonham, let's have the drum solo here. All right. Well, let's move on with the show.
Moving right along.
Let's move right along. So our goal is to help people take action and to encourage people, and obviously to have a bunch of fun with your friends as you develop something in the community. And it really is about taking a step, fire, aim, ready. And so we are excited to have my friend Andrea Timmons here today with Archwell Health. Andrea, say hello to everybody. We're glad you're here.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, no, you have to say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
All
Thank
three
you.
of our listeners.
There's a lot of clapping for only 3 listeners.
Well, I know, but
yeah.
all their personalities were clapping.
Oh, that's right.
So, Andrea, we met. We've done life together now for a while, and we met. We became friends. We've done some stuff together, but our introduction to each other was at this weird event called the Business Owners Networking Group, the B.O.N.G.
It was.
And can you just give us a little bit about your experience at the B.O.N.G. and what that's been like for you?
It's been life-changing to be involved at the B.O.N.G., honestly.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, go for a couple hours.
You're one of my most favorite people, which I tell you that a lot.
Yeah, thank you for that.
A lot of my best friends that I have today, I have made through the B.O.N.G.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Not only have I been able to serve the community by being involved in the B.O.N.G., but I've also been able to help pour into the community as far as utilizing other services and stuff as well, that the B.O.N.G. members bring along. And I mean, what's more fun than going on a cruise with a bunch of your friends?
Right.
Yeah.
And she was my good luck charm. I went down to the casino,
I know.
and she went down there, and I put in $1.48.
Yeah.
Walked out with $1.72, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, good luck charm right here.
It was a little more than that.
I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty decent.
It was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she was my good luck charm on the cruise, and we've done some events together.
We have.
At Archwell Health.
Yes.
And that's been a very. She does a thing called Singo Bingo. Am I saying it right?
You are.
And the first time I went just because we're friends. I'm like, all right, I got to get this out of the way. Yeah. You ever have a deal like that? You get invited to a deal, but it's one of your best friends, and
Thanksgiving dinner.
You felt obligated.
Yeah, but I felt obligated because we're friends, and and it turned out to be one of the most fun things we did last year. And we did it again, and I went voluntarily.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't have to be coerced. And
yeah, I think I was at the most recent one.
Did you go there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you were.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We were there.
Yeah.
Listening to songs and playing some weird form of bingo.
There was no singing on my part. I was kind of confused about that, so I had to just kind of do it anyway.
Well, you can
it
go now if you want to.
It wasn't in the rules, but yeah.
Well, man, if you want to sing, we can.
Well, I don't have my band with me. I mean, I only have the drummer. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That is a band that hasn't happened yet. Is a dude singing and just a drummer.
Just a drummer. A random guy beatboxing.
What would you call that band? What would be the name of that band?
The Hits.
The Hits? I don't know.
I don't know.
See, drummer? I don't know. We'll get around to that.
Just the Hits.
Just the Hits. Oh, the Hits because of the drummer.
Oh,
yeah, rim shot. All right, cool.
That's funny.
Anyway, but Andrea puts on events. and does a very good job of it. And then we've
Yes.
also done some educational events
Yes.
where you're. So I want to talk a minute about Archwell.
Okay.
What you guys are doing, I think, is on the front edge of how healthcare can be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs healthcare, medical care, but the medical, the health care system in America is not very healthy. It's not
Right.
very caring, and it's not a very good system.
Exactly.
And what you all are doing at Archwell, I mean, and I am not an expert on it, but visually it looks like you guys are making a difference. And so if you would just take a minute and give the basic overall premise of who Archwell is. It Archwell Health? Is that the legal
Yes,
name? Okay.
yep, that's the name, Archwell Health. So we are primary care doctors for seniors only 60 and older. We accept Medicare Advantage plans, which would be United Healthcare and Humana. The nice thing with Archwell is we get to spend more time with our patients. So we really get to dive deep with them and find out what's going on with them. It gives them an opportunity to be able to talk talk about things, I should say, with their doctor more in depth than just being seen for a very short period of time. And we do other things to help outreach into the community as far as offering Zumba classes, chair exercises, any type of fun activities that we can bring in for them to give them like a social outing.
Singo Bingo.
Singo bingo, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I mean that was such a fun event, but in my brain when I'm there, I'm not at a medical place,
Right.
but it's a really, you got two locations
Yes.
in the Tulsa area now.
Hmm.
Let's shout out the website real quick if you want to learn about Archwell Health. Archwellhealth.com/locations/Tulsa. Is that all the forward slashes?
I think
Yeah.
I
so.
think that's all of them.
You can add more, but it won't work.
You can add a couple, like / come on, why won't this thing work?
You could. It
Yeah.
just won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Archwell works for 60 and older.
Yes.
And it's paid for by Medicare Advantage. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, the client's not paying anything. Am I saying that the right way, or do I have that wrong?
So Medicare Advantage plans is typically an additional healthcare coverage that they will carry. So no matter if they see us or any other primary care doctor, they're going to have the same copay obligation. So it works
Okay.
in the same way. So as long as they have those two plans, then
Got
they
it.
can come to our Tulsa locations.
Got it. Okay. Well, so your role? You're not the doctor.
No.
You're not. I mean, what is your role with Archwell?
So I am what they call a membership consultant. We refer to our patients as members. We want them to be a part of the Archwell family. And so basically what I do is go out into the community and really try and be an advocate for them to come to Archwell and receive better health care.
Right.
And I do fun things like play the Singo Bingo and bring a lot of joy to their lives and stuff like that that they don't get to do outside of other things and stuff like that. So,
But you've also done. I was part of an educational seminar that you put on a
yes.
couple of times with Marie Greenlee helped out with that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to have
That
people
was.
there to just talk to, and you just contribute that. So, are there other that was an educational piece that we
Right.
did.
Hmm.
What other kind of educational things are you doing for the members of Archwell Health?
So, we will do different things as far as bring in other organizations that are kind of on the outskirts of just primary health care. So, whether it's different associations to help with things, they'll come in and discuss. Their what they can expect, whether it's Alzheimer's or different ailments like that that people start to, um, I guess, develop over the course of time
Right, that
and
seem to
stuff like
develop
that.
more in that age
Yeah.
category.
So we do partner with different organizations like that where I've seen that they'll come in and do different seminars and stuff like that and really talk about it. Or I'll host different things where I educate people on
Right.
what Archwell is about and how we work and stuff like that because we are a little bit different than your normal everyday doctor.
That they're getting to spend a lot of time with the doctor.
Yes.
That's not normal.
No.
Right. So somebody that would enjoy that. I mean, will those plans take somebody that has a pre-existing condition? Will the Medicare supplement plans, will they take somebody that's already got a health issue?
Well, I'm not an insurance agent specialist, so I do partner with them as well.
Okay,
And
that's a question for them.
that is definitely a
Can
question
you get them on
for
the phone
them.
real quick?
Let me check. Bleep, bloop, bloop, bleep, bloop, bloop.
Hello? No, okay, the line's busy. Sorry.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we
Yeah,
have
my bad.
a few of those specialists, that are in Bong that I
So,
partner with.
so
and
they
stuff.
can help with the Medicare supplement insurance. And what are
Mhm.
those plans called?
They're
Adv- ad-
they're
Advan
Medicare Advantage plans.
Got it. And
Yep.
United Health and I
And
know
Humana.
and Humana. I know we have
Yep.
some people in the business owners networking group who help with that.
Yes, absolutely.
So, we've this will be the third time we've had this conversation, but you guys are in such a unique spot with 80 million baby boomers out in the market,
Hmm.
like between 42 and 62. All the people from World War II came home and made a bunch of babies, about 80 million of them.
Right.
And as those people mature out, 10,000 people a day turning 65. I mean, it would seem like the market for what you all do is just vast.
Right.
I mean, there must be some pretty good minds behind this Archwell thing. I think you guys are. I mean, I can't imagine a better business to be in than.
So it's definitely the senior community is
Right.
underserved in healthcare. And as we know, when you go into a doctor's office for an appointment, you're getting about 10 to 15 minutes to spend with that doctor.
Right.
And so it really, like you said, with the baby boomer generation, there's going to be a large population of people to take care of.
Oh yeah.
So
It's vast.
this type of healthcare did not exist in the Oklahoma area up until a couple years ago. So
Right.
it's really going to make a huge difference for a lot of seniors that have not been able to get the healthcare attention that they need.
Right.
Mhm.
So what's the number one thing that? Okay, so I'm going to say people 63 and older since I'm 62.
Oh,
I,
right.
I don't want to be in the group.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So the senior people, not me, but the people older than me.
Yeah.
What do you see as some of the challenges that the seniors in this area are experiencing, not just with healthcare, but just life? I mean, I know you're seeing a lot of stuff. What do you guys see out there?
Yeah, we see that they lack a lot of resources, and may not really know what resources they're eligible for
Right.
and stuff like that. So it's really important for us to be out there in the community and help be that resource for them so
Right.
that way they can know that they do have options and stuff. Not only is it difficult with the healthcare community side, they have a hard time getting in to see their doctor.
Right.
And we will always make time for them. So, one thing that we really pride ourselves on is they can have same day appointments. If they wake up today
Oh,
and they're
okay.
sick and they need to come in and see the doctor, we will always make sure that they get in to see the doctor. So,
You
and a
know,
lot
that,
of
that
doctors
that's
are
a
retiring.
that's a great point.
Hmm.
Can we talk about my colonoscopy some more?
Sure.
I know that's what you wanted to talk about
Sure,
today.
why not?
So I mean, the whole system is kind of weird to me, but I did a test. I don't want to really describe it, but doctor called me and went, "Hey, you had a positive outcome on your colon cancer test." Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad he called me on a Friday, and
Wow.
and I'm like, "Oh, thank you for that, man. Have a nice weekend too."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, but we need to get you scheduled for a colonoscopy." This was September 1st,
Hmm.
and I called immediately, and they got me in 1 week ago, December 23rd.
It's a long time.
Yeah, but I mean, I only had to worry about it 3.5 months,
Eh,
and it turned out to be fine.
Right.
yeah.
I want to say for the record, and thank you for the lady who, you know, shined a light on my condition. And are you missing a ring? Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Come on, that's funny.
That is funny.
Look, if we're not going to have fun on this show, we're not going to do it.
That's right.
But she did comment on my colon. She said it was beautiful.
Well, that's good.
Right.
I'm glad you had a good outcome with that.
Yeah, I was worried they were going to have to like remove something, then I would have a semicolon. Well, your show's over with. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's
Andrea.
healthcare related.
How'd the show go? Not good. Not
We
good.
talked about Cash's colon.
It's a topic. There are people out there watching right now taking notes like colon. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna call Cash and get information on colonoscopy. It was a positive, honestly, it was a positive experience. I don't have anything to say about it.
That's good.
But anyway, let's move on. Let's move away from me
Okay.
and back towards Andrea Timmons, who's here with Archwell Health. archwellhealth.com/locations/Tulsa. If you want to learn more about Archwell Health. Andrea, why are you here? How did you get on this road? How does somebody with your talent and it's considerable. I mean, you're wonderful to be around. You're great with people. How did you end up here? What led you to this moment?
As far as
Your career.
my career,
Yeah, I
well,
want to find out how you got. I mean, the path you're on right now. How did you end up here?
it's I wouldn't say luck of the draw, but things kind of just worked out like they were supposed to.
Yeah.
So it started back really in 2010. I had been laid off.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And so,
Thank goodness, though.
right?
Right?
I
You
know.
didn't think that
Because
at the time.
no, I thought it was like, it was so devastating. You don't know what you're going to do or how things are going to work out. You think it's like your whole life, and then
Yeah.
everything works out.
But your
So,
faith carried you through, and here you are today, and a prominent member of the
mhm.
Bong, and doing great with Archwell.
I couldn't imagine life being any different now.
Right. I mean, that's so what was trauma turned out to be a great thing.
It
So you
did.
you lost your job in 2010.
I did. And my first thought process was because healthcare's always been my dream and my passion. And so I went back to school to become an RN. And I worked through all of that and had some health issues come up, and it became too difficult to continue on with that. So
Mm.
then, which was okay, it worked out for the best as well. And then I moved on into working into new construction. And by being in that company and working
That home construction. Okay.
new construction home residential
Okay.
building, and I really took on many hats and wore a lot of hats within that company, and really grew my entrepreneurial skills, and just learned a lot about myself within that company and built my skills. So then, after I had left there, I was referred to come work for Archwell as a brand new company. And they thought I would be a really good fit for it, the person who referred me. And I'm like, this is kind of coincidental because I wanted to always be in healthcare, but I was going to be on the opposite side of healthcare now, not bedside care and
Hmm.
actually taking care of the patients like a nurse would, but I was going to be helping seniors get better health care and really advocate for that. And I love building relationships, and seniors are very dear to my heart, and we will all be there one day. So I knew I
Right.
wanted someone to advocate for me if I needed something like that as well.
Those are great words. She said building relationships and building houses.
Yeah,
You're building.
I am building.
And that's sort of the way a lot of us view you, as somebody who is, you develop relationships, you're helping develop Archwell.
Yeah.
And I forgot that you'd been in the building business.
Hmm.
I mean, that's pretty cool. So that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're Bob the Builder.
I am Bob the Builder.
That's pretty cool. Well, so you're passionate then about senior health care.
I am.
Can we dig into that for a little bit?
Sure.
I mean, how do you become passionate about that? I mean, are there stories that you can share? I mean, I know you've got 100 stories.
I do have a lot of stories. You start really when you get into senior healthcare, you really start thinking about your grandparents, which might have not been with us for a while, but my grandparents had situations where they could have had somebody like this in their corner
Right,
to be able to help them get better health care. Then you start thinking about your parents, right?
right,
What is their future going to look like? Like, they need to have good health care to make sure they're taken care of
for
and
sure.
the doctor stays on top of the needs that they have. My mom in particular, she has a situation where our family doctor we had for 20 some years never really took into consideration her situation. And now that she's at Archwell, that doctor is like full steam ahead. Like, we're going to figure this out. We're going to get everything taken care of.
Very
And
cool.
when you see that happen with your own personal family members,
Right.
and they've done it with my aunt too. My aunt was not very healthy when she came to us at Archwell, and they've really changed, her health and helped her live a better life than what she has.
I like to hear those stories because, I mean, so often, and I'm not an expert, but you see how the industry works, and it seems like a lot of doctors
Hmm.
are more about prescriptions. We're not really in healthcare. We're in, kind of creating customers.
Right.
But if we take, I mean, the word that you used is advocate or
Hmm.
advocacy.
Hmm.
You know, that's a that's giant. I've never felt like I've had an
Mhm.
advocate in the healthcare world. And
Same.
so do they help organize treatment if you're going out into the world? I mean, they don't do all of the treatment for people.
So we will do all of the primary care. So if you
Right.
do
Okay.
have,
Surgical needs or
exactly. So if you have a specialist that you see for whatever, they're taking care of, then we will try and take care of as much as we can under our care at Archwell. But if the specialist is needed for things outside of the scope of the primary care doctor, then you continue to see that specialist and we work together with them as well. So either you can see the same specialist that you have, or we can refer you to a specialist to see.
but they still oversee the process though, like so they're
Hmm.
still the advocate when you're going
Absolutely.
outside of the primary care.
Absolutely.
Beautiful stuff in the medical care world
Mhm.
happening right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Archwell Health, archwellhealth.com/locations/Tulsa. You can find Andrea Timmons on Facebook, or you can join the Tulsa Business Owners Networking Group. Andrea, we're going to take a brief minute,
Okay.
and we are going to say thank you to some of the sponsors of this fine show.
This fine show is sponsored by Elevate Coworking. We're here in the podcast studio. Our signage in the studio is provided by CM Customs, and the show features amazing entrepreneurs like Andrea from the Tulsa Business Owners Networking Group. We're also sponsored by MFP, My Financial Plan, on the web at joinmfp.com, and the show is produced by yours truly, Kenneth Bauckham Photography. With these amazing sponsors at top of mind, let's return to cash flows already in progress.
All right. Thank you, sir. We're here with Andrea Timmons with Archwell Health, archwellhealth.com/locations/Tulsa. And you can find Andrea on the Facebook. Is it
Yes.
called the Facebook?
The Book of Faces.
The Book of Faces. Yeah.
The
I think it
Facebook.
used to be called the Facebook.
Yeah, it actually was.
I saw that in a movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Long, long, long time ago.
well,
I
I mean,
think.
just saying, putting that extra "the" on there, just imagine how much time
So
that
much
takes.
work.
3 billion people a day using the word "the" one extra time.
Can you imagine all the keyboards that got worn out typing that in before
Yeah.
they finally changed it?
Yeah, it's a conspiracy by
Yeah.
keyboard companies.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they were crazy when they took
Yeah.
off the "the."
Ridiculous.
Maybe I should shut up myself.
Probably.
All right, Andrea, we appreciate learning about Archwell. In this world of medical care, I mean, it's kind of scary out there, and
It
and I
is.
love the word advocate and advocacy in healthcare. I think it just causes healthcare to take on a different feeling when you're the patient.
Yes.
And so, thank you guys for what you're doing. So, we want to talk about you a little bit,
Okay.
and we've done some research into your background.
Oh, have you now?
Well, not really. We looked at your Facebook page earlier.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and then we looked at all the cruise pictures. I'm like, oh, I remember that. I remember that.
Good
That was so
times.
much
Yeah,
fun.
I'm not very good at research, but so I know you've had some obstacles in your life.
I have.
I want to hear about that,
Okay.
and our listeners want to hear about that, both of them. And sorry, how? I mean, what is it? A lot of times people have trouble or an obstacle, like you lost a job in 2010.
I did.
How have you used obstacles to build this life that you have today that I think is pretty awesome?
Well, I learned a long time ago from my dad, who is a Vietnam vet, and his motto was always, "You take the bull by the horns and basically just deal with it and move forward." So my motto has always kind of followed that, growing up like that. And really, obstacles are just that. They're just obstacles.
Right.
So the moment you can know that you can overcome the obstacles becomes a lot easier. So you just continue to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving forward. And then things just very oddly have a way of working out, and you may overcome the obstacle or you may not, but it's always going to be a learning process and growing
Yeah, maybe
period
there's a lesson in it.
or a
I call
lesson.
that stumbling forward.
Hmm.
If you're going to stumble, just stumble forward a little bit
Yeah.
and make a little bit of progress. And that was so your dad believed that as well, and that's you believe that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, so I want to talk about what are some things that you do on a regular kind of daily basis, whether they're rituals or whether they're habits, things that help you be successful. And this can be mechanical, like I keep a really good calendar. But what
Hmm.
are the things that go on in Andrea's life that have contributed to you enjoying this career that you have?
I do have to keep a really good calendar, so that's a good point that
Yeah.
you brought up because that definitely has to exist. I have to be very intentional about making and keeping relationships. That's really important. Um, in this industry with Archwell, people really look up to you and look into you for guidance and everything like that.
For sure.
And the older you get, the less trustworthy you are of people. So I've really learned that building trust and building relationships and, having people get to know you and like you really makes a difference. So that is very important to me.
Yeah.
And people are very important to me. So everything just kind of goes along with each other for me to really build those relationships and make sure I'm staying very relevant in people's lives and stuff like that.
And I think one of the things you and I have enjoyed, I just got to know you,
Yes.
and then I liked you,
Mm-hmm.
and then I trusted you.
Exactly.
And I think, I think the old adage, people do business with other people that they know, that they like, that they trust.
Yes.
And the more salesy, thank you, the more salesy type people kind of run in, want to make a sale, and they're in and they're out.
Right.
And, and I'm not saying that those are bad people. I'm just saying that method is kind of archaic.
Mm-hmm.
That, so you're in a trust-based business,
Yes.
especially, and you said as people get older, they become less trustworthy.
Yes.
I think she just called me cranky.
No.
Well,
Don't dignify that. Well, so you found something you're passionate about. You found people that you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
We use this word tribe,
Yes.
very, right here, tribe on
oh
my
look,
shoulder.
right there on the sleeve.
Wow, how did that get there?
How convenient.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's my speech right there. Tribe.
It's a tribe.
So, I mean, how did you find all that? I mean, you're passionate about what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You're passionate about the people in your life.
Yes.
Like how do you I don't know, how do you create that? Like how do you become passionate? Like what led you to this point?
Well, finding my tribe was just kind of something that I've always searched for.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of great people in my life that have been around for a lot of years. I've stayed in contact with a lot of great friends from high school. I've always kind of been that way of keeping um, long-term relationships, but I felt like I needed more. And so, goodness, that's probably been a year and a half ago. I just was scrolling Facebook one day
Yeah.
and I thought, I really need to get involved in more community things.
All right.
And here I am typing in different networking groups, and this strange one comes across my page, and it says Tulsa B.O.N.G, Business Owners Networking
What'd you
Group.
think at first?
I thought, this might be a pretty interesting group to join.
Okay.
So I thought the name was very unusual, and I thought, well, I wonder if I have to be a business owner to be in this group. I
Right.
just have so many good things that offer to the community. So I thought, well, I'm going to just sit back and watch
Right.
a little bit and kind of see what this group is all about. And so I did that for probably about a month and a half, and then I saw,
Another lurker?
yes,
Yeah.
I was lurking. I was like, is this really what I want to get involved in? I don't know just yet. So I watched some of the monthly events that you were hosting. And I thought, yeah, this looks like fun. I
Yeah.
just automatically was drawn to you. Like you just get that feeling,
Right.
And so I'm like, I've got to go meet Cash
Okay.
and all these other people.
Well, and you did. You actually, I can't remember where we met first, but didn't you come to a breakfast pretty early in the deal?
I did. It was when we were still at the Tulsa Country Club.
Right. But
Mhm.
there was a breakfast where you brought something. Do you remember bringing food?
Oh, yes.
Let's okay, that's why we got you here today. Let's talk about that.
I haven't made those for you in a while.
You have not. That's
I know. I've
this
been
is not
slacking.
actually a podcast. This is all fake. We're here just to get the recipe.
I'm not giving it to you, though, because then I would never have anything to make for you.
What I can't remember what it is.
It was the chocolate and peanut butter brownies or something along those lines.
Right, sprinkled with like
Gooey goodness.
crack or something. Like she brings this stuff to my house and she's like, "Here, have a little piece of this," and it lit me up.
That's usually how kidnappings start.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I think we're in the middle of one here.
Yeah.
But it was
a plan.
But I remember you hid some for me, like back behind my coffee maker or something.
I did.
That was a good day because I
Mhm.
found it. I think I found it later, maybe.
Yeah,
like
and
the
I told
party's
you,
all
I
over.
said, hey, I put some over there because everybody's eating them.
Yeah, and it all the big supply went away, and then like the party's over, and then I find it.
Bum, bum, bum.
Man, that's like finding $50 in your pocket when you put on your
Right?
winter coat for the first time.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It was awesome.
Yeah, they
So,
were good. I'll have to make them for the next one.
yeah, that's coming up sometime in the next few weeks.
Yep.
So, okay.
So I will. I'll
That's
do
Yeah.
that for you.
yeah. I'm gonna give you the wrong date, and then it's just gonna. I don't want to share that with anybody.
And then I'll just bring them just for you.
They'll just
Yeah.
be.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andrea. The party's not until next week. Just
Oh.
leave that here and then bring another.
Oh, my bad.
But I mean, that illustrates the kind of fun we have when you
Mhm.
build a life with people,
Right.
and when you're doing life with people. And now we've done events and we've done games and we've been on a cruise together and we're doing a podcast together.
Here we are.
Yes.
I don't know. I think life's more fun with friends.
Yeah,
It
it
What
is.
what say you, Mr. Kenneth?
I just agree in
Yeah.
general. Yes.
Yeah,
That's very good.
when
A year and a half ago, I did not think I would be here doing something like this because being the center of attention and the spotlight of something is not my cup of tea.
well, you're the center of attention right now. The
I
video
know.
camera is trained on you.
Everything.
We're putting this out on the Facebook. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's gonna know
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
And the YouTube.
All right. Well, let's. We're gonna do one more question,
Okay.
and then we're gonna get one business nugget from you. One thing that you would tell a new business owner, or it can be life advice. Like, what would be good life advice?
Don't pet the cat.
Don't pet the cat, or when you come into the fork in the road, take it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to ask you one more question. So what would our listeners be surprised to know about Andrea Timmons, besides that you're a good luck charm in a casino?
Well, that they need to know, right?
I think that's important.
I mean, that's really important.
You're going to get lots of requests.
I'm not lucky for myself, but I guess I bring good luck to
You
everybody
did.
else.
You certainly did to me.
Hmm.
Okay, so
So-
give us something juicy here.
Well, a lot of something that people don't know about me because I have a tendency to hide it or not really talk about it. But it's very prominent in my life and it does affect me when people don't really know that it does. And so I'd like to shed light on things that could possibly help other people. Back in 2000, probably started in 2013, but really in 2014, I started really struggling. And I could notice, and this is why I never completed my RN degree and stuff as well. I started having some health issues.
Oh, okay.
I was actually playing co-ed soccer still because I'd always been an athlete. So I'm in my mid 30s. I'd be getting out there running around and then I just would fall. Couldn't figure out why. And then I had different parts of me that were just completely numb that I couldn't feel. And I'm like, something's really going on. And it felt like my back was about ready to bust out and just like weird things and
Wow.
stuff. So I decided to go to my doctor, my primary care doctor. And I said, I want a physical. I want to see what's going on. I have that going on, that going on and stuff. And so he started doing all the things to check me out, sent me for an MRI. I was called back in about a week after that. And he told me that it came back stating I had multiple sclerosis. I about fell on the ground.
How old are you at this point?
36. I just turned 36.
Wow.
So I probably was having stuff going on around about 34.
And it finally became diagnosed, and wow.
Mm-hmm. And so
Okay.
things just kind of started progressing, becoming, I started noticing changes and stuff like that. And so, like, when he told me that, it was like a ton of bricks hit me. And
I imagine.
I thought, well, what is this going to mean for me? Am I even going to be able to work? Am I going to be able to be, there for my family? Like, a mom takes care of all of the things. Like, how do you navigate this now?
Yeah.
And so I came home. I probably sulked about it for a couple of weeks. Went through all these other different testings and stuff to like 100% confirm it.
Right.
And so my first initial was November of 2014. By January of 2015, it was like 100% confirmed. So about a month
Wow.
and a half later. And so I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And everybody thinks of MS or multiple sclerosis as the wheelchair disease.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I do too much to just be
Right.
living that kind of life. So I'm like, I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to really just take it and still continue to do what I do. And so I did. And so I started going through my treatment therapies and stuff like that. And as years have gone on, I've just remained very active. I do all kinds of things with my kids. I work over full time, which I'm very fortunate. A lot of people in my situation cannot work full time nor do the type of activity level
Right.
that I do and stuff. So I've been very blessed, and that's a huge obstacle to overcome because not only do you have to get yourself mentally in the right place, you have to also physically be able to overcome all those
For sure.
obstacles. And so I've been very fortunate. And a lot of people will say, wow, I didn't even know that you had that. Like, you don't look like there's anything wrong with you. And that's true. I mean, it's the hidden
Right.
illness. And, but that's okay because it's not what defines me, I should say.
Right. It's just a situation in your life and you're dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
from, just from the way you live your life, you can't tell that. And how many
Right.
children do you have?
I have two,
You have two. What are their names?
Brianna and Alexander.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
tell us real quick about them because I don't know Brianna as well, but Alexander,
You've met him a few
I have
times.
met him and I'm impressed by him.
They're great kids. I'm very blessed by both of them. So Brianna is 24.
Right. Looks just like you.
Don't ever tell her that I look like her sister because she will just die. She hates that.
We got to set her up for that.
Hmm. Yeah, she will just die.
Hey, Brianna, we have your sister here on the podcast today.
She will love seeing that. Absolutely love it. I love it.
Well,
you
it's
know?
permanent and it's a lifetime. So, yeah.
There we go. So she's 24. She is a senior nursing student at ORU. She's going to graduate this May. I'm super proud of her. She's a great kid. She's heavily involved in our church and runs the youth group there and all
Wow.
kinds of things. Yeah, she's great. And then my son, Alexander, who you've met, he is the epitome of Mr. Jock, Mr. Basketball,
Right.
eats, breathes, sleeps basketball, all the things. Just super athletic. He's a great kid too, a great student, just an overall nice human for a
He is
teenager.
a nice human.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
I've been very blessed.
All right.
Yep. And he attends Catoosa High School.
Okay. It's that time of the day where we get a business nugget from Andrea Timmons. Tell us something that we could share with a business person, or it could be a marriage tip or a health tip. What say you?
Patience, perseverance, just overcoming all the obstacles and keep going is the best advice that I can give. There's always going to be obstacles in the way, and how you overcome them and how you handle them is what gets you there.
Awesome. We are here today with Andrea Timmons of Archwell Health. Andrea Timmons on Facebook, Archwell Health at archwellhealth.com/locations/Tulsa. Andrea has shared with us patience and perseverance as one of the tips to get through life, and she is certainly somebody who's exhibited those traits as she has, built a life and built a business and built a great following here in Tulsa, all while dealing with something that could have set you back, but you kind of just refused.
I did.
That's a pretty cool story.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
And that's why I have such a passion for
Yeah.
what I do, because I may be one of those people that needs resources one day.
I love that story. And if you're looking for somebody to talk to just about life, Andrea Timmons, thank you for being on our show today.
Thank
Kenneth,
you.
are we ready to wrap this one up?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you have a good day?
I did.
Was this fun? I mean,
Yeah.
the puns were decent.
They were plenty. Plenty.
I'm sorry. I
Punty.
pontificated
They're-
way too much.
Significantly.
I'll work on that next time. Hey, if you're here today, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for taking a look at Cashflows. We would love it if you would share this with, 4 or 5 million people. But if not, just one or two would be great as well. And that would be great for our fragile egos. And we'd love to share the word that there's a good life out there to be lived. And sometimes you just need a mentor rather than a mentor. So, yeah, I'm taking the dad jokes all the way to the very brutal end. But Kenneth, thanks for being here. Kenneth Baucom, photographer, videographer, podcast developer. If you want to do a podcast, find this guy. And Lori with Elevate Coworking, Clarence Shaw with cmcustoms.com. We love you guys. Thanks for being here. And until our very next show, I hope you'll make good choices. Please be nice to each other. And as a great thing to do today, find just one person who absolutely does not forgive, does not deserve forgiveness, and you forgive them anyway. Why is that? Because we need happy people. And man, when you're holding a grudge, it is just really hard to live a good life. And this show's about living the good life. Forgive somebody, love one another. And Kenneth, I want to say goodnight to all of our listeners in Wagner, Oklahoma. We're stepping up over there. Thank you guys for being here. And for the three of you, Eddie, Earl, and Earl II, thank you guys for liking our posts on Facebook. And we're going to run over to Quick Trip right now. We'll meet you guys there and get some jerky. You guys have a good day. Thank you.
That's our show for today. Stay tuned for another riveting edition of Cashflows.